Hi, welcome to this Die Designer video tutorial. Today we are going to be looking at socket head fasteners. You'll find this in the fasteners and thread menu section, and then you'll notice a number of options for button head, cap screws, flathead cap screws, low head, set screws, socket heads, stripper bolts, and threads. The jack screws, that'll be in a different video, and the fastener list is an option that I will show you later in this video. So for now we're going to start with socket head cap screws, or SH, at the command line. Brings up the dialog box, which is tabbed. Socket heads, low heads, button heads, flat heads, stripper bolts, set screws, and threads. We're going to start with the socket heads, but before I jump into that, let me show you the help file. Click the help button, and yeah, it brings up a description and your command line options, the menu location, and then the intelligence that these socket head fasteners have. So also there's a button to start a YouTube video demonstration to see this video over again if you want to. So yeah, let's begin. We are going to start with a profile view, and we'll stay with that 3/8/16. I'm going to select a 2-inch just to get us started for this profile view. Come over to this cross section, insert it off point, 0.5, thread direction, counterboard yes, and now it's prompting me for that 2 inches that was in the dialog box, in the list box of thread lengths. That 2 inches looks a little long, so I am going to type in 1.750 and override that, and that looks pretty good. So based on that, we're going to put some socket head cap screws into the plan view. We'll put them from the top, but we changed them from this 2 inches to the 1.750. So we'll adjust that. We'll use the corner snap option and use the 1/2 inch. I'm also going to use the touch command to restart for this particular socket head cap screw without going to the dialog box. Corner, corner, corner. Let's put a couple off middle. 1 inch off middle. 1 inch off middle. Okay, let's put some low heads in these two rails. So low heads, or LH, from the command line. We'll go with the 1032. We'll go with the 1/2 inch long, and they will be from the top. Again, your options: top, top hidden, bottom, bottom blind, or profile. We'll use top. We will go off point. Use the touch command to start it again. Let's add a couple off the middle of the rails. 0.375. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, and there you have it. So we got a side view of a socket head. We got our plan views. Let's say we were going to go out and detail this now on another sheet. Let's break it down into the individual details. Okay, so we have our die yoke, we have our backup plate, and we have our rails. Let's isolate the individual details. All All right, let's do some transformation now on these fasteners. For these socket heads, they were counterbored into the die yoke. So we will go to transform, transform to counterbore or TR. Yeah, and they quickly transform into counterbored holes. Rails, the low heads for the rails, they would be tapped holes. So we'll go to transform to threads or TT. Now they're threads. Let's isolate the rails and remove them as they're no longer needed. This is the backup plate, 3/8 or 1/2 inch backup plate right here. So this will be clearance for the thread. So we'll go to transform to clearance or TC. Okay, these low head cap screws will not be in the backup plate. Let's isolate the rails and remove them. Let's do a quick object transform on the dowel holes, the rail dowel holes, and the pilot holes, and they default to a 1/32 oversized drilled hole. Going up to the rails, we're going to transform these low heads into counterbores or TR from the command line. And yeah, there you have it. Let's quickly do the die set. We're going to transform to threads for these 3/8/16s. We don't have the low heads for this. Once again, I'll isolate, remove this. I am going to transform, object transform, OT, these rail dowels, so you can knock them all the way through, and then the pilot holes. And again, a 30-second over drilled hole. I'm going to leave this die yoke showing, but I'm going to change it to a phantom just for a visual reference. Dimensions, hole table, select, and the hole chart. So you'll see C is drill and tap for a 3/8/16 thread. And all these holes are labeled. You know, the D is the 3/750 dowel through, minus 2/10 plus nothing. Now for this sheet, let's do the same thing. HD, select, and let's take a look. Our F hole, 13/32 through, the counterbore and the counterbore depth. The D hole, which is clearance for the 3/8/16 thread, is a 13/32. And then the A hole for the low head cap screws, 7/32 drill through. The counterbore depth for a low head cap screw. So yeah, kind of cool, kind of quick. Now let's do the fastener list. Based on all these fasteners that we put in, we put length data on them. It will also pick up the dowels. But yeah, just for ordering your fasteners. And if you look down here at this corner, this is all going to happen real quick. Fastener list. And boom, yeah, counted up those 3/8/16 by 175 long, 1.75 long, 6 required, and then the low head cap screws. Yeah, so it's all kind of there. It is picking up all these dowel holes from over on this side. Normally I would have that on another sheet, and it wouldn't count extra items. But yeah, anyways, thanks for watching, and yeah, have a good day.